The Rock finally gets to bring Black Adam to the big screen. At least he got to have some fun. Black Adam is the latest entry in the DC film universe, often called the DCEU to keep it legally distinct from its far more successful competitor, the legendary Monsterverse. Black Adam stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who you may know as one of the biggest movie stars in the world, or at least from his role as Pandari champion in Star Trek Voyager. The film follows Teth Adam. After being imprisoned for thousands of years, this Shazam-powered antihero is freed and then proceeds to destroy a mercenary army invading his homeland. This draws the attention of the Justice Society, a Golden Age superhero team taking the place of far more expensive DCEU actors. Can Black Adam overcome his anti-hero ways and stand for truth, justice, and the Kahndaq way? Probably not. This film has been a passion project for The Rock for over a decade now. He's often talked about the character and his desire to bring him to the big screen. Despite his love for the property, it's understandable that it took this long. To be frank, it's a surprise this movie was even made. Black Adam is not a household name, and he's mostly known for being the arch rival of Captain Marvel. In the grand history of comics, it's only relatively recently that Adam has become more of an anti-hero. So now that we've seen the film Dwayne Johnson has been promising for all these years, was it worth the wait? Overall, the film is fine, with some entertaining action sequences and creative performances. However, it has a glaring problem that forced my movie-obsessed brain into overdrive. Black Adam cribs almost every scene, every character, and every detail from the past 25 years of superhero films. This movie is like a cinematic collage, where the screenwriter took a pair of scissors to his Blu-ray collection. This even extends into the trailers, which are full of scenes that weren't in the movie I watched, but they sure were in the first Iron Man movie. I'll get into more detail about this in the spoiler section, but by the time you get into the super secret jet rising out of an ornate mansion courtyard, well, it becomes pretty obvious. I have to admit that these disparate elements do come together rather smoothly. These were effective moments in other films, and they're almost as effective here. Not to mention that I am obsessive and my brain is stuffed full with detailed knowledge of every movie I've ever seen. I don't remember how to do simple math anymore because I needed to remember the entirety of Wing Commander. So I can't speak for the average movie watcher who remembers Long Division. But this film left me unable to focus on the plot. Instead, I found myself compulsively comparing every scene to its original. That scene is from X-Men. This one is from Endgame. Oh look, it's Iron Man again. But to be brutally honest, I can't really blame anyone for liking or even loving this movie for that exact reason. To get into why though, I have to get into spoilers. So as always, skip to this time code for my final synopsis and thoughts. The movie begins in 2600 BC, where we learn the story of the champion of Kahndaq. He was a little boy that was forced to dig in the Eternium mines to craft a crown so the king could summon a demon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I fell asleep during that part of history class. The boy tried to spark a revolution, complete with his own Hunger Games hand signal. Someone should tell him that the diamond cutter is Dallas Page's special move, not The Rock's. Anyway, King Asshole, Lord of Fake Egypt, orders the boy executed. But, the kid gets a convenient power-up from Djimon Hounsou's delightfully brusque wizard, Shazam. We're told that the champion overthrows the king just as he's about to summon those demons with that crown. That's good, you don't want demons in your king. Black Adam nukes the palace and then is promptly thrown in wizard jail. Cut to modern times, and Kahndaq is now under the rule of Hydra. Intergang. Intergang wants the demon crown, and almost has it when the film's love interest frees Black Adam from his wizard jail. Adam then proceeds to kill a bunch of faceless soldiers in a Snyder-esque action sequence set to a popular bit of music. By the way, that previous sentence describes no less than 3 set pieces in this film. Of course, Black Adam isn't just about Black Adam, and all of his destruction draws the attention of the Justice Society. We are very quickly introduced to Aldous Hodge as Hawkman, Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, and newcomers Atom Smasher and Cyclone. Aldous Hodge has had an increasing profile as of late, but Hawkman is his biggest role to date. Outside of the Birdman, Hodge is most known for his role in the cult series Leverage and its recent revival Leverage Redemption. His role as Hardison, the team's hacker, is filled with charisma and comedic charm, but Hawkman is not Hardison, and Hodge is mostly relegated to being a stoic hero throughout the film. There are a few moments where he gets to have some comedic charm, but they are far between. Frankly, it's a waste of his talents. Brosnan is also a welcome addition. A lot of people have been talking about how his performance carries the film, but I think those people just forgot how charming Pierce Brosnan is. The man was James Bond for a reason, people. I personally feel like he didn't really bring anything extra to the role, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. He is a relatively minor character in the story of Teth Adam, but he still does more than enough. His age also clearly affects his character's actions. For the duration of his role in the film, he is either sitting in chairs, or he hovers around as a disembodied CGI head on a distracting cartoon body. Yeah, that's right, the CGI is bad. Effects houses are overworked and understaffed. Maybe instead of giving people 2 weeks to create terrible CGI sets and cartoon CGI bodies, we can start going back to more in-camera stuff. It worked for 100 fucking years before After Effects came along. Sabek is truly atrocious, and he's just a red guy with horns. Fucking Hellboy came out 20 years ago, and they managed to make their red guy with horns a moat, because he was an actual person in makeup. Dr. Fate and Hawkman fill a lot of the JSA plot of this movie with endless conversations about the latter's prophesized death. It's pretty obvious what's going to happen the moment Dr. Fate tells Hawkman he has seen his death, and there is a chance to prevent it. And on a completely unrelated note, Dr. Fate is over 100 years old and tired of the grind. Gee, I wonder how this will play out. By the way, a lot of people are accusing The Rock of phoning in his performance. I disagree. If you want to see an actual phoned-in performance, look no further than Viola Davis in her cameo as Amanda Waller. She sends this superhero team off to battle with all the enthusiasm of placing a 7 a.m. Starbucks order. Yeah, I'll have a Atom Smasher. Give me a Hawkman. And what about Cyclone? Does that have sprinkles in it? Johnson's performance is actually pretty appropriate for the character, and adds something interesting to the action sequences. As this godlike being renders armies and tanks into little more than ash in amazing displays of power, he looks positively bored. His non-reaction to some of the biggest events and set pieces says a lot about Adam as a character and his own internal desires. It's like he's a grumpier One Punch Man. Johnson has clearly thought a lot about this character, and his reactions show an understanding of Adam's core appeal. However, there is also a lot of ego and power fantasy in the role. Most scenes and character motivations seem to only exist to piss Adam off and start a fight, while making this mass-murdering Lightning Man look justified. There are so many times people walk up to this godlike being who is a former slave and immediately threaten to imprison him. That didn't work the first time. Why would you repeat the same tactic? Speaking of repetition, most of this film is just scenes where Black Adam wrecks a bunch of guys and then threatens Hawkman. In the end, they all fight a CGI Demon Man, as is tradition in a DCEU film. Only true auteurs have them fight a giant starfish. Even though it has a body count on par with a Rambo film, most of the violence is bloodless and cartoony enough to make this a family affair. I'm sure it will play very well amongst the 12 to 16 crowd, and will be a mainstay of birthday parties for years to come. You can get cake, open presents, and then come back just in time to watch Adam fighting the JSA. There is literally nothing in this movie you haven't seen before. The movie even ends with someone suggesting Teth Adam take on a new, more modern name, and then The Rock smiling cutely before it cuts to the title. It's literally the same ending as Fan 4 Stick, and nobody liked Fan 4 Stick. If it sounds like I'm being hard on this movie, yeah, I guess I am. It's hard to speak positively about a movie that has just copy-pasted scenes from other sources, changed the names and places, and called it a day. Marvel may kinda suck these days, but it seems unfair that this movie is making millions by stealing Disney's work, and Fox's work, and Paramount's work, and Universal. Despite all that, there is still something very watchable about this whole affair. Johnson is charming even when he's playing a character that's dead inside. While the action sequences are derivative of other, better superhero movies, they are also bright, colorful, well shot, and at times, downright beautiful. The movie is well paced, and I have to admit the twist on Adam's origin took me by surprise. Yeah, DC nerds, you caught me. I never read any Black Adam shit before this movie came out. All the cool kids, read Black Condor. Black Adam is an okay movie. It reminds me of the first Venom movie. Even though it was objectively terrible, there's something about the lead performance and the movie's complete unwillingness to stand still that makes it go down easy. I can't in good conscience recommend Black Adam to anyone, but I won't discourage seeing it either. While others may get a lot out of Black Adam as a movie, it just left me feeling frustrated, overstimulated, and tired. It certainly is a way to spend 2 hours and 5 minutes. Black Adam gets a 2 out of 5. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not subscribed, but just thank you so much for taking this time to listen to my review of Black Adam. You can support the channel below with KoFi or Patreon if you want to see some more content from us in the future. Other than that, just thank you so much again for watching, and remember, stay safe and be who you are.